Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel, Mrs. Brusson channel. Yes, I am Mrs. Brusson, and I don't think we have met before. Or maybe we have. Who knows? But anyways, I want to greet you to my channel today and tell you that we are going to start with a new unit today. Okay? Beautiful. Now, before we begin and I introduce the topic, I want you to go ahead and look at this illustration. And I also would like you to read this that I have here. It comes out of our book, The Edge Curriculum Level A, and it's an activity that is there on book on page 286 of our students textbook, and it is making connections. Okay, so you don't have to write anything. I just want you to think about this, and if you have a friend next to you or close to you, you can just grab that friend and share your thoughts with this person. Okay, so it says, would you tell lies to protect people you love? hmm. Would you solve their problems rather than your own? Hmm. Think about these questions, then discuss them with a partner, a friend. Share your ideas with the class or with other people. Okay, so just pause the video, read it one more time, internalize it, share it, and come back to us. Well, I hope you had a good time sharing with somebody close to you. And with that, I am going to introduce our topic for today. As I mentioned before, this is the Edge Level A book, and I am introducing today vocabulary for Unit 4, Cluster 1. Okay, this is aligned to the Edge Level A curriculum. I'm sorry, just have to mention that again to make sure that we all know where we are. Okay, and let us go ahead and begin with our clear learning targets. And we have two today. Number one is I can create a definition map that includes an example, a non-example, and the definition for each vocabulary word. And the second one is I can use the word in a sentence. And this means each word is going to be used in a sentence. Okay? Okay, friends, let's go ahead and read these learning targets together. Let's go ahead and do the number one first. 1, 2, 3. I can create a definition map that includes an example, a non-example, and the definition for each vocabulary word. I can use the word in a sentence. Okay. So this is our definition map. You have seen it before or something similar to this. Okay, so at the end of this lesson, this is what you will be creating for each of the 8 words that we are going to study today. And I will give you an example as well at the end of the lesson. Okay? Just want to let you know that for some of the words, actually for all of the words, I will be naming the part of speech, and sometimes I will give you a little bit of uh, remind you what is the definition of that part of speech. Okay? Beautiful. And let us begin with the first word. So I would like you to look at the illustration, and the first word is agony. Let's go ahead and pronounce that word together. Agony. One more time. Agony. And agony is a noun. Okay, let's go ahead. So remember that nouns are things, person, place, right? Animals are included in things. And then we also have, okay, so let's go ahead and read the definition. To be in agony is to experience great suffering. Okay, let's go ahead and read it. To be in agony is to experience great suffering. One more time. To be in agony is to experience great suffering. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and use that word in a sentence. His agony was dreadful and beyond measure. Let's read that sentence together. His agony was dreadful and beyond measure. Okay, so a synonym for agony is pain. It's good to look at synonyms because it actually, if you don't know the word agony, you do know what the word pain is. So now you have a better understanding of the word, right? Okay. The next word that we have for today is avoid. Okay, let's go ahead and read it together. Avoid. One more time. Avoid. Okay, and the definition for the word avoid is avoid means to keep away. Avoid means to keep away. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and use it in a sentence. Do you try to avoid or stay away from unhealthy foods? Do you try to avoid or stay away from unhealthy foods? Okay, so remember to practice your pronunciation by reading the sentence after me. Now, if you notice, I did left out a comma on this sentence, which I'm going to fix after I finish with this video. There should be a comma after away, okay? Or stay away, comma, from unhealthy food. Here we have an antonym, actually two antonyms for the word avoid. Okay, so remember that antonyms are the opposite of the word, of the meaning of the word that vocabulary word that we're doing. So the opposite of avoid would be to find or to get. Okay? Okay. The next word that we have for today is consequence. Let's read that word together. Consequence. Can we do it again? Consequence. And consequence is a noun. Now, I want you to look at the illustration. Look that we have two persons, one in front and one in the back, and the one in front probably cannot see the one in the back. So think about the consequence of those walls falling. Okay, so a consequence is something that happens as a result of something. Okay, let's go ahead and read that sentence or that definition one more time. A consequence is something that happens as a result of something. Okay, so something has to be the cause, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at the word in a sentence. Every decision we make has a consequence. Okay, can we go ahead and read that together? Let's go ahead and read that together one more time. Every decision we make has a consequence. So here I have provided you with with two synonyms and an antonym for the word consequence. Okay, so synonyms are words that has similar meaning. So a synonym for consequence is result or effect. An antonym or the opposite of a consequence is the cause. Okay, got it? Okay. So now we are going to go to our next word. And that is dependent. Dependent. And dependent is an adjective. I don't think we have seen adjectives yet, so I'm going to tell you that, or remind you that an adjective is a word that modifies or describes a noun. Okay, so adjectives modify or describe nouns, right? So let's go ahead and look at the definition that I have here for you. If you need someone to help you most of the time, you are dependent of that person. If you need someone to help you most of the time, you are dependent of that person. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at it in a sentence. Children are dependent of their parents for food and housing. Can we read it together? Let's do it. Children are dependent of their parents for food and housing. Who are you dependent of? Good question, huh? Okay, and now we have our next word, and that is enable. Let's read that word together. Enable. One more time. Enable. And enable is a verb. It's an action, right? In this case, this verb is an action. So remember that verbs have their different kinds of verbs, but one of the kinds is action words. So, and here we also have, I have to say it, sorry, a suffix "n." Okay. So when you, to enable a person do something is to help make it possible. To enable a person do something is to help make it possible. Okay. Can we read it one more time? To enable a person do something is to help make it possible. So look at this illustration. We have parents on the background and a daughter probably off to maybe college or a new job. Who knows, right? So let's go ahead and look at this word in a sentence. Here we go. Parents who pay for their daughter's college enable her to succeed. Parents to pay for their daughter's college enable her to succeed. Let's read it. Parents who pay for their daughter's college enable her to succeed. Okay, so let's move on to our next word. And this one is relationship. It's a beautiful one, right? We all love this word. Relationship. And relationship is actually a noun. Yes, let's read it again. Relationship, right? And this one actually has, since I mentioned the prefix before, I'm going to mention the suffix this time, ship, right? And the definition for this word is a relationship tells how people are connected to each other. I love this word. Okay, let's go ahead and read it together. A relationship tells how people are connected to each other. Okay, and let's go ahead and use this word in a sentence. Actually, I actually have two sentences for you over here. Marriage is one kind of relationship. Let's read it. Marriage is one kind of relationship. Okay, let's read my other favorite word. Friendship is another. Can we read it? Friendship is another. Okay. Now we have the word rescue. Let's read this. Rescue. Okay, let's go ahead and pronounce it one more time. Rescue. And again, rescue is a verb because it's an action word, something that you do or somebody does for you, right? To save a person from harm is to rescue him or her. Let's go ahead and read it together. To save a person from harm is to rescue him or her. So look at the illustration that I have here, okay? And what are those people doing? Yes, they are rescuing somebody. Okay, so let's look at the word in a sentence. If you fall into a lake, you may need someone to rescue you. Can we do it again? If you fall into a lake, you may need someone to rescue you. And a synonym for rescue is save. Let's say that, save. Okay, with that, we have arrived at our last word of the day. And this one is responsibility. Let's go ahead and read it together. Responsibility. One more time. Responsibility. And responsibility is a noun. That's right. So, a responsibility is something that a person must do. Let's read that together. A responsibility is something that a person must do. And look at our illustration, okay? And let's go ahead and use it in a sentence. The responsibility of a student is to go to school, study, and learn. Let's read it one more time. The responsibility of a student is to go to school, study, and learn. And I have here three synonyms for you. So responsibility could be a synonym for job, duty, or obligation. Okay, friends. So just let me go ahead and present you with our definition map once again. So what you're going to do here is over here, you're going to write one of the words. Okay, so let's say, let's write responsibility. Why not? Okay, and then over here, you're going to write the definition of the word, something that you must do, right? Other forms of the word, so responsible, okay? It's another form for the same root of the word responsibility. An example is duty, right? And a non-example is a choice, okay? Because when you have a responsibility, you do not really have a choice, okay? Okay, and then we can use a sentence as I have the responsibility of planning lessons for my students. So you see, very simple. So you're going to do this for each one of the words that we just reviewed today. And remember, friends, to practice the pronunciation, okay? Say it aloud because you might think about it and you think that you might be know how to pronounce it, but when you start trying to vocalize it, you will notice that it's just a little bit different. Okay? And with that, we have arrived at the end of our lesson. So I want to say thank you for your attention, for being here with me, and I hope this is useful to you. And I will see you next time.